Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the fourth annual CPL Summit. We're very excited. We're in our fourth year, about a decade or so into this work with CPL in the state of California, and we've made some incredible progress, but we still have a huge mountain to climb as a state. Know that in this summit, we will have breakout sessions, a few different tracks, and several breaks for you so we can last this full 3 hours together. Up in the top right of this first slide, you can use that QR code to refer to all of the Padlet materials for the day. Each of your sessions will have Padlets as well. The day will go from 9 to 12 with the last hour of 12 to 1 for new colleges onboarding onto MAP. Know that all of these sessions, including this general session, will be recorded for your professional development use on your campus at a later date. Please use the chat for questions or comments. We want this to be interactive as much as it can in this modality. And we do want to hear your questions. In the main session, we definitely want to use the comments section, and we'll leave it up to the presenters in the breakout rooms as to how the communication will work. Please do have your video turned off if you're not speaking for bandwidth issues. And know that we do have access to closed captioning. I've seen a few of you already make access of this to get the transcript and have closed captioning work. Please understand down at the base of your Zoom screen, you have access to that accommodation. Know that in the main session, in the main room, when we do break out to breakout rooms, you do have access to Billy and Chris, who will help with your technical needs. Please take a picture of their emails right there in case you do get kicked out of the session. We want to keep you rolling with your professional development. This is what the day is going to be looking like. Thank you, Cal, for throwing it in the chat as well. You have access to that material in the chat, as well as the link to our Padlet in the chat. Now, without further ado, let's get rolling with our CPL Summit. Very excited for the agenda today. It's very jam-packed. The first speaker here is someone special to me. We share a professional alignment with our counseling career. She has over 2 decades of experience as a faculty and administrator in the California community colleges and has been a major advocate for both students and faculty alike. Dr. Green has been so tremendously helpful with our efforts in credit for prior learning and been a staunch advocate for this effort with MAP to spread and scale statewide. Hand it off to President of Norco College, Dr. Monica Green.
Thank you, Terence. And it's my honor to introduce and welcome Dr. Wolde-Ab. He has more than 60 years of experience as an educator, faculty member, and administrator. A Fulbright scholar, he was born in Eritrea, East Africa, and graduated from Ethiopia's Haile Selassie University, where he majored in chemistry. His graduate studies took him to the University of Michigan for a Master's of Science and PhD degrees in medicinal chemistry. He did postdoctoral work at Uppsala University in Sweden and later worked as a senior clinical researcher with AstraZeneca for 12 years before returning to Eritrea to serve as president as the university president of the University of Asmara. That was from 1993 to 2006. And we're fortunate that we had Dr. Isak come to Riverside Community College District in 2006 as Dean of Health Science at Moreno Valley College. And he served subsequently leadership positions in the district, leading to his now role as the 4th Chancellor of Riverside Community College District. I wish we had time to hear some of Dr. Isak's life story because it illustrates so powerfully the importance of our mission to help service members and working adults successfully access and navigate higher education through times of uncertainty, transition stress, and amidst confusing bureaucracies. Dr. Isak faced similar challenges and has had to navigate extreme poverty, dislocation from family and culture, injustice, bold-faced racism, revolution in his homeland, and even a brutal war between Eritrea and Ethiopia. Now, if asked, he would likely tell you that he would not have made it where he is today if it were not for education and for the amazing interveners along his educational pathway. a teacher, an employer, a host family, a mentor, a sponsor, a dean, and even a librarian. A librarian who shamefully closed the library door to a very young urchin named Wolde-Ab, but later opened it up to him when she recognized that he would not be so easily denied his education. His life is, in his own words, a perfect example of the profound truth that education is the most powerful social and economic equalizer in the world. It is with great pleasure that I welcome Chancellor Isak to say a few words about the importance of CPL for our veterans, service members, and working adults, and to introduce Chancellor Sonia Christian. Thank you. Dr. Isak. It appears we're having a little
good to go.
Oh, very good.
The host wouldn't allow me to unmute, so that's why. Thank you so very much, President Green. That's a very generous introduction. I'm not used to it. I'm just a simple person that has really gone through the hurdles of life, and I have deep appreciation for the kind of students that we have, and even greater appreciation for this summit and for the tremendous work that Dr. Sam Lee and his team has done in leading this important task that is going to open up opportunities for thousands and thousands of our adult learners. The completion of a degree or a certificate, along with applied learning experiences, provide job applicants a clear advantage in today's workforce. In fact, a poll by Harvard Business School's project on managing the future of work and the American Association of Community Colleges found that 47% of employers said hiring from the open market is more cost-effective than the company spending on training of new workers. We have heard the call for the revamping of education practices. These initiatives are often aimed at making higher education more accessible and affordable for a broader range of students, including adult learners, a group that I believe will benefit significantly from the Credit for Prior Learning initiative. While Credit for Prior Learning will save individuals time and money on their education, I'm hopeful that the initiative will motivate adult learners to pursue higher education through recognizing their skilled experiences and expertise. Best way to motivate displaced adult learners is to recognize what they already know while presenting the benefits of advanced courses. The creation of useful and relevant learning experiences focused on practical knowledge and skills that accommodate an individual's interest and ultimate career goal is what is needed. The framework of the Credit for Prior Learning initiative ties in well with the California Community College Chancellor's Office Vision for Success, including the Vision 2030 initiative. For the last several years, we have rallied together to tackle goals to improve student outcomes by closing achievement gaps, increasing degree and certificate attainment and transfers to four-year institutions, and securing gainful employment. The efforts by the California Community Colleges Chancellor's Office and the colleges are guided by the core belief that colleges should simplify and clarify paths to educational goals and assist students stay on the completion path. Fortunately, we have a leader in Dr. Sonia Christian to lead us through our challenges. For more than a decade, as president of Bakersfield College and then chancellor of the Kern Community College District, Sonia Christian has been a thought leader statewide, promoting guided pathways and vision for success as a tool to advance students' success and equity. She has not only expanded the partnership with K-12 school districts, opening doors for dual enrollment, but she has significantly expanded the partnerships with the Cal State universities and the UC systems to make transfer path to be seamless. She is an embodiment of a true and successful community college leader. I'm excited that she's going to be putting that philosophy into action as the head of the California Community College's Chancellor's Office. I have been an admirer of her work from here in the Inland Empire for many years now, ever since I was invited to speak at Bakersfield College Leadership Matters Summit in 2017, which focused on how educational leaders can set the stage for improving certificate and degree attainment rates for the disinvested communities we serve. She's a powerful and humble leader who inspires people to do the right thing, and the California community colleges are blessed to have her on the hand, and we are equally humbled and pleased that she has agreed to open this summit. Colleagues, I present to you Dr. Sonia, the Chancellor.
I am so honored to be addressing champions for the advancement of credit for prior learning, or CPL. Thank you, Chancellor Wolde-Ab, for inviting me. You have provided tremendous leadership to make this project a reality and to scale it up across the state of California. We are entering an exciting time at California community colleges as we implement Vision 2030, which re-examines what success, access, and support mean when we lead with equity. Vision 2030 incorporates a shift in our approach to proactively bring college to our students wherever they are and not to wait for them to come to us. This includes offering CPL to veterans and working adults through the military, employers, and other associations. We are at an important point in time where CPL can be leveraged by utilizing the articulations created through the California community colleges shared by technological advancements like MAP. Thank you, Norco, and thank you, Riverside District, for pioneering this work. CPL is not new, but the ability to expand credits awarded for all the deserving students in our colleges is absolutely new. CPL sets students on a structured and rewarding learning journey by honoring the education they have received through their documented lived experiences. This work is grounded in equity. The intentional process of awarding CPL reduces the number of units students need for completion while accelerating their path toward a high-wage career. The deliberate choice by counselors, faculty, and administrators to work together as a community to award CPL to our students maximizes their financial aid, reduces their time to completing their degree, and greatly increases their earning potential. Plainly speaking, CPL saves students time and money and puts them on a clear path to an advanced degree that they may not have been able to pursue otherwise. CPL is also an important tool which opens channels for California community colleges to conduct direct outreach and incentivize underserved adults into enrolling into specific and structured educational pathways. By articulating prior learning pathways to credits, the system can directly identify potential students who can advance their careers and earning potential and motivate them by showing the credits they could be awarded even before they enroll. That is, CPL can be used as a recruitment tool and open up access even more to those who have not found college yet. This will also benefit the state by adding more qualified professionals to the workforce and help us get closer to the goal of 70% of Californians having a post-secondary credential. The more articulations that are developed and shared, the greater the opportunity to conduct this intentional outreach. CPL may be the most significant untapped intervention we as a system have to sustainably increase equitable access and promote social mobility. I am once again so grateful for all of you in attendance today, for all the presenters here to share their immensely valuable knowledge, and to the leadership from the Riverside Community College District and Chancellor Wolde-Ab. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chancellor Christian. It's wonderful to have all these administrators throw all their weight behind this and our reentry adult population, whether they're veterans or working adults. But at the heart of the matter, if we do not have our instructional faculty's support and backing, we face major roadblocks. And so it's exciting to see the statewide Academic Senate for the California Community Colleges continue over the years to show their support for appropriate and well thought out CPL pathways. I want to introduce our next speaker, a representative from ASCCC, English faculty and professor, and the Student Equity Chair at City College of San Francisco, Mitra Sapienza.
Thank you so much, Terence. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mitra Sapienza. Shout out to CCSF folks. I see a few of you out here. I am a North representative on the executive committee of the Academic Senate for California Community Colleges, and I'm thrilled to be here with all of you, self-proclaimed CPL superfan here. On behalf of the ASCCC, I'd like to welcome you all to the 4th Annual Credit for Prior Learning Summit. Your commitment to our students and their educational accomplishments, both prior to and during their time in our community college system, contributes to not only our system's excellence, but to the excellence of our students. And because it uplifts student excellence. CPL is an example of the bold and thoughtful action, as we've heard from a few openers today, connected to the Vision 2030. And in many ways, CPL aligns with all 3 of the Vision 2030 goals for students to have equity and success, equity and access, and equity and support. Through CPL, we can increase student pathways into our system, and we know that hundreds of thousands of Californians can benefit from our expansion of CPL policies, further increasing access points, economic mobility, educational attainment for people of color, even having the potential of increasing Black student enrollment by nearly 50%. CPL allows us to better ensure consistent awarding of credit and avoid repetition of coursework for our students. I mean, how cool is that? You all know this more than I do. And even cooler is that so many colleges are using MAP, that what was once a platform centered on military experience is now expanding in name and in effort from military articulation platform to the newly named Mapping Articulated Pathways. So anyone out there with a guide to acronyms at your college, it's time to update MAP on your lists. The ASCCC has always been a proud partner in this work, and in alignment with MAP, shares the priority that credit for prior learning pathways are student-centered and faculty-informed. CPL is bold and thoughtful as subject matter experts lead and shape this work, revolutionizing access points for community college students. So back at CCSF, we did some work last year, and we had one practitioner who really summed it up perfectly in this quote. CPL practitioner said, students will experience a better sense that their previous learning has value. And perhaps more importantly, they will know that we value it as well. The ASCCC is here to support all of you on your CPL journeys. Please don't hesitate to send inquiries to info@ASCCC.org. Thank you for all of you for being here and for all that you do for our community college students.
Thank you so much, Mitra. It's wonderful to have the support of the Senate. And as all of us know in this room, Credit for Prior Learning has so many different constituency groups that we hit. One of the most vital is our transfer institutions. And along the years, we've had a great partnership with our Cal State University system and our CSU Chancellor's office. I want to recognize and welcome Dr. Brent Foster, a former faculty member at Cal State Fullerton that's now working at the Cal State Chancellor's office. And two of the major items on his desk are CPL and transfer. So I want to pass it over to Brent and let him give a few words on CPL and what it means to the Cal State system.
Thank you so much. And good morning, everybody. And I want to start by actually thanking the MAP team. You know, I look, there's like 18 Zoom pages of people here, 800 registrants. What an amazing summit. And so to Sam, Terence, Calvin, and the rest, I just, my hat's off and appreciate the opportunity. You know, like so many of the students that we're trying to service through MAP and Credit for Prior Learning, I too am a veteran of the U.S. Army, you know, first generation, non-traditional student. And I joined and served in the Army in the early 90s. This was during Desert Storm era. In fact, I was thinking about it when I wrote up my notes on this talk. And, you know, when I went through basic training, we were wearing green BDUs. So our uniforms were all green jungle colored. And when I was getting out, everyone was wearing desert BDUs. In fact, my son was in the Army and he wore desert uniform his entire time in. Vehicles were being painted, turning from green camo to tan camo. The types of training we were engaged in switched from jungle to desert. And it truly was a time of transition for the military, for the country, and of course for myself as a service member and you know, an 18-year-old guy straight out of high school. But I knew very little about college when I had completed my enlistment, but I knew that education was related to upward mobility. I had enough friends that had educated parents that were living in nicer homes and driving nicer cars. And so as a first generation veteran, I returned home and enrolled at the University of Central Missouri. And within 3 years, I had nearly completed all of the required courses in my major. And, you know, through taking summer classes in winter and so forth. And I began the process of building my first ever resume. Now, I was unsure at that time about whether to put my military service on my resume. Here I was about to have a degree, about to be an expert in my discipline. Does my military service belong anywhere on this resume? So I reached out to an academic advisor, and the advisor asked me this question: does the job you did in the service have anything to do with the jobs you're trying to do now that you have a degree? And I sort of said, well, not really, because all I did was drive trucks when I was in the Army. And he responded, then don't put it on there. Now, I had zero reason to believe that that he was wrong. And so for the next 10 or 15 years, my resume made no mention of my military service. Now, as I said earlier, we were in a time of transition in our nation, and I don't believe there was the same level of appreciation for military service as there is today. And times have certainly changed. I mean, can you imagine for our incoming veteran and military affiliated students telling them, don't put that on your resume? We want to celebrate our military affiliated and veteran students. And we want to find ways to bolster the value of their contributions to our nation by providing many different types of support. And today, that support comes from credit for prior learning, as we're discussing in this summit. You know, here at the CSU, we're knee deep in this work. I'm happy to share that most of our campuses have completed their updated CPL policies, and others are continuing that work through the end of the year. And those policies can be found at their campus websites. In addition, here at the CSU, we also, just a few months ago, just last summer, sent representatives from all 23 CSUs to College Source. They have a conference in San Diego so that they could receive advanced training in TESS, the Transfer Evaluation System. Many here today have had this training. And we're encouraging our campuses to use TESS in a very transparent way to build outward-facing CPL agreements that will help streamline the process for students and offer valuable resources for our intersegmental partners. We're learning that TESS is also a helpful tool within our own system collaborations. For example, we're learning that CSU campuses are sharing information through TESS. And when a new request for CPL comes from a student, articulation officers are checking with other CSUs to see if they have already approved something similar. And this helps create continuity in decision making, and we're hoping that trend catches on. We also look forward to the collaboration work that is coming from the MAP team. I certainly don't want to steal any thunder from recent collaboration meetings that they've been having, but I understand that there is some momentum around 2+2 and 1+3 programs between the CCCs and the CSUs related to POST, which is the Peace Officers Standards and Training, some potential in fire tech, computer science, perhaps business. I think really the sky's the limit with a lot of these. And what's really cool is all of the CPL that gets embedded into those arrangements. And with that, I want to end where I started, and that's with my appreciation for the MAP team. In fact, next Thursday, the MAP team is coming to speak to our CSU articulation officers and hopefully generate some excellent dialogue around using CPL to bolster student success. Thanks, everyone. Your contributions to this work are appreciated, and I hope today's summit is both fruitful and rewarding to all of you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Dr. Foster, and thank you so much for your partnership with our team and our cohort colleges. We so appreciate the work that we've been able to accomplish together. Good morning, folks. My name is Sam Lee. I'm the Chief Ambassador of the California MAP Initiative, and it's my pleasure to introduce to you Associate Vice Chancellor Gina Browne, who's from the Chancellor's Office, is going to be talking about an exciting new demonstration project that's in the works. So, Gina? Oh, let's see. I'm going to unmute you, Gina. So sorry. Hold on. There you go.
Thank you for that, Dr. Lee. I was able to unmute. Yes. My name is Gina Browne, Assistant Vice Chancellor for the California Community College Chancellor's Office. Good morning, everyone. As Chancellor Christian mentioned in her remarks, one of the Vision 2030 strategic directions focuses on promoting equitable college access and increased social and economic mobility for all learners. The MAP CPL demonstration project fulfills the strategic direction. So in collaboration with the MAP initiative, the Chancellor's Office will conduct a demonstration project to improve that equal access, equal completion, transfer, and career attainment for veterans and all adult learners through credit for prior learning that we hope will be the foundation for statewide and nationwide scaling of this underutilized pathway for success. We know that when colleges join the MAP cohort or even commit to awarding credit for prior learning, they are being asked to change policy, procedure, and personnel to facilitate and optimize CPL awarding. And inevitably with that, there are going to be challenges to statewide expansion, including technology. We need funding to sustain technology, and we need funding to sustain culture changes. We're trying to better understand and support optimized CPL at our colleges, and we want to also promote the cultural and academic development by educating faculty and supporting their central role that they play in the articulation process. So the goals, we can go, yeah, there we go. The goals of the CPL demonstration project include developing a shared understanding and commitment to expanding CPL, clarifying or adding CPL to job descriptions for all needed stakeholders, create and/or designate leadership and support positions for CPL that cross operational boundaries, develop those CPL policies, procedures, and staff supports needed to support CPL. One of the more important aspects of the project is to collaborate with our CSU and UC and industry partners to target specific disciplines, certifications, and sectors to develop 2+2 guided pathways and embedded CPL, and to really develop those industry and institutional procedures for aligning workplace training and standards with collegiate training and curriculum. But the main goal is to really institutionalize, normalize, and proactively award credit for prior learning to our students. You can go to the next slide, please. So we are still developing the details, but please stay tuned. We will have an interest form available hopefully in early December. We are unsure of how many colleges we want to invite and how much we will be able to offer, but know that we are considering all colleges, whether you are in the MAP cohort already or not. And then the colleges will be selected based on a number of factors, including commitment and capacity. Location, we want to make sure that we're spread out across the state. We want statewide implementation. The college's need for support, leadership support, the types of programs already programs and commitments already invested into CPL. So again, there is more information coming. Stay tuned for more information. Thank you so much, Dr. Lee, for giving me a few moments to just introduce our upcoming demonstration project.
Thank you so much, Gina, for your review of the demonstration project. We're looking forward to more details as they come down the line. I'd like to take the next several minutes to talk with you about the MAP initiative, what MAP is, and what it's accomplished this year. Give you a little update. But first, let me start with an introduction to MAP. MAP is designed to create an equitable ecosystem at the bottom. It does so by maximizing college credit for military and professional training, and it allows colleges to compare their military and professional training to their own college courses, line those up, and create articulations. We also facilitate credit recommendations from ACE Military Guide and other credit recommendations from NCCRS, as well as from local faculty at each of our colleges. The equivalencies in MAP become articulations only when they're approved by disciplined faculty after their review, and then when the articulated credit is then applied to CPL plans for students. Those CPL plans are based on the program of study and the transfer destination for the students, and it involves counseling in the process. Through all this, colleges can adopt articulations and students may view available CPL offered by colleges. If you want to see a brief video later, you can take a screenshot of that QWERTY. It'll take you to an introductory video. Know that the video discusses the military articulation platform, and as Mitra stole my thunder, we have rebranded, which I'll talk about in just a second, to Mapping Articulated Pathways. Next slide. So as an initiative, we are working to revise and align procedures to build CPL-powered pathways to our transfer partnerships. We're also working to process and store all the documentation you need to create and award CPL. We're also working to create, approve, and share CPL course articulations with faculty leadership. And then also we're working to integrate all the documentation and evidence you need to support awarded CPL. And next is our goal is to flip the process from a petition process to an outreach process that brings college to our students and brings that CPL to our students as offers. And next we want to, of course, comply with Title 5050, which requires us to analyze all military and students with professional industry credentials for credit for prior learning, as well as Senate Bill 1071, which requires us as well to analyze service members, JSTs for credit. And lastly, we want to celebrate all the CPL awards going out there. We want to count for them and make them so that our colleges get the credit for doing all the hard work and awarding those students that CPL. Next slide. Here's the rebranding I was talking about. We have taken the lessons we've learned from awarding military credit and built the platform to be able to support all forms of CPL, including military, industry certifications, credit by exam, portfolio review, standardized assessments. And so we have our new logo for you to see, mapping articulated pathways with credit for prior learning for working adults and veterans. Okay, our goals this year. In March of this year, we came out with MAP 2.0, which was a significant advance for us. Added a lot of functionality to the platform. And at that time, we set annual goals of being able to house 1,000 JSTs. JSTs are joint services transcripts. That's the documentation that every service member receives that is a repository of all the credit recommendations that come from the American Council on Education. And we parse those JSTs in the MAP system and store those as documentation. And also it allows us to create local articulations based on those. Well, we were able to, this year, since March, actually accrue over 2,000 JSTs in the system. So that's a wonderful step forward to meet our goals. The next goal we had was for all 76 cohort colleges to upload a minimum of 10 JSTs. We're not there on this goal yet. We have 44% of our colleges that have at least 10 JSTs uploaded. But 52 of the 76, or 68%, have at least uploaded one JST. And we always say you start with one JST, one student in front of you. So it's a great place to start with one JST and see what credit you can create and award. And so we're still working, the year's not over, we might get there. We had a stretch goal that 10 colleges would upload 100 JSTs for a total of 1,000 JSTs. Stretch goal, we are not there yet either. We have 40% of our colleges actually meeting that goal. But the overall goal, 1,000 JSTs, is just about there. We have 963 from those 4 colleges. So we'd love to give kudos to Palomar College, West LA College, Norco College, and Merced College for being the leaders here. We have a few more hot on their tails, with very close to 100. We had a few surprises along the way. One was we have 81 new college exhibits for industry CPL. And this is actually a result of San Diego's Community College District's Miramar industry credentials that have been input and mapped by Desiree Payne and Shelley Hess. The folks at Miramar, San Diego have been doing this work since 2020, creating crosswalks to industry credentials. And they have an amazing list, which I will display later, of industry credentials. And so that was a surprise that we hadn't thought we would be ready for, but very nice to see. Also, Cabrillo College was added to the cohort mid-year. They have a very high functioning CPL team that came and say, hey, we want to join the cohort and we're ready to rock and roll. And so we were able to add them mid-year. So I'd like to give a shout out to Sarah DeSalle and Michaela Johnson and the team at Cabrillo College for doing great work. Also, we have, we hadn't expected it, but our developers at ITPI were able to put together a beta version of MAP articulation. This is a public facing, if you use the QWERTY code, you can get to it. It's a public facing search site for all the approved articulations in MAP. And we hope that it will become a hub that will allow colleges to discover new opportunities for CPL and also see what sort of a financial impact, what sort of benefits are they saving with their CPL. So we've quantified and estimated the dollar saved for each of the colleges based on the CPL they've awarded. And so each of the colleges can go in, click on theirs, and it'll filter for the college. It'll also filter by top code, the most common credit recommendations, and the most active colleges in the system. And so we hope that this will become an active dashboard and place to search for credit and look for opportunities to create more credit where there is not yet credit at the local college. Next slide. Okay, we are poised for progress in 2024. This is a design build project, and as such, we're trying to meet the needs of 72 local districts, local controlled districts. And we're also trying to meet the processes and procedures established at those colleges and build in the flexibility. Well, that's a tough task, but it's not a task that we shy away from. But we have created a number of needed features this year and fixed a number of bugs that have sometimes stopped progress, but those bug fixes are complete. We have added several new features, which I won't go through, but these features are designed to make it easier to create, share, and plan student CPL plans. So have a look at that public list as well. MAP 3.0 is on its way, and we'll talk more about that at the end of the summit. Next slide. I want to give a shout out to West LA College. They, this year, were able to award 271 students an average of 11.3 units for over 3,000 units. This is an amazing accomplishment. This is the first real collection of students in MAP who've been awarded CPL that we can document their industry credentials through the creation of exhibits. And we just are amazed at the work that the West LA team has put together this year, and want to show you that this is proof that it can be done. And so we wanted to acknowledge their progress. Next slide. Miramar College has been hard at work, as I mentioned before, and this is just a crazy, dizzying list of the industry certifications that they have crosswalked to courses. And we've included in the Padlet a list of these so that you can see what they've done. And these will all appear as well in the public articulation list and in our MAP exhibit module. The good part about this is that each of these industry certifications that are crosswalked to courses can be shared or used by any of our colleges, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just apply it to your own colleges, and if the faculty approve the articulations, it'll be in place for your students. So thank you so much to Desiree and Shelley Hess for your work on this. Next slide. Bakersfield College has been hard at work. They have recently started advertising 24 units for post-academy peace officer standards and training academy completion, which all law enforcement officers in the state of California complete. And they were able to offer 24 units post-academy for any law enforcement officer who's completed that at Bakersfield. And here's their first recipient, Captain Randy Milligan. And Randy's on his way to an ADT in summer of 2024, thanks to 21 units he got at Bakersfield. And he is on his way as well to CSU Bakersfield for the criminal justice BS degree. And when he finishes that, he'll be qualified to apply for a chief of police position, which is just wonderful work. Bakersfield College, this is the first of many. We hope to see this story repeated thousands of times across the state. Well done. Rio Hondo, not to be outdone, has awarded students in fire tech. In fact, they've just gotten on their trike and ridden really quickly to get here this year in fire tech, auto, wildland fire tech, and electrical. And check out this great story of Eric Olson. He is an automotive technician and was able to get 27 units. And I imagine this is for Automotive Services Excellence ASE certifications. He applied that to his associate's degree and then was able to get a bachelor's of automotive technology at Rio Hondo and is now teaching at Rio Hondo. So this is another story we love to see repeated all over the state. Next slide. More college progress at Palomar. They've uploaded over 360 JSTs. Palomar has been a powerhouse in CPL for the last many years, and we're excited to work with them on those JSTs for veterans. And Skyline is working on a unique 1+2 Administration of Justice cohort pathway, and that's exciting. They'll be applying 30 units of post-CPL and then transferring students to East Bay, CSU East Bay. That's just in the works now. It's not done yet. And other colleges are really working hard as well. San Bernardino Valley, West Hills, Lemoore, Moreno Valley, Merced, City College, San Francisco, Cabrillo, and Monterey Peninsula. Next slide.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Lee.
Thank
Now,
you.
just to provide everyone how to navigate our breakout sessions, we do have 3 in total: breakout room 1, breakout room 2, and 3. Breakout room 1 will consist of working adult CPL. Breakout room 2 will consist of military CPL, and breakout room 3 will consist of CPL administration. Now, with that said, how do we properly navigate to those sessions? Whether you're at home office, on site, on an iPad, or your cell device, please look down on your Zoom screen now. You should have an icon for breakout rooms or an icon that says more, where you can further go into a breakout session. Now, once you get into that specific breakout room, you have 3 selections: working adult, as mentioned earlier, military CPL, and CPL administration. Once you join, it'll prompt you to say yes or no. Please select yes, and once you're there, we'll see you on our next sessions. Now, after that initial breakout room, we are asking our participants to go back to the main room for a quick 5-minute break, where we'll go into another session for breakout room 1, 2, and 3 for that next slot. Now, please, if you can, take a picture of this, save it. We will drop it in the chat and the Padlet. And now I'm going to present to you our concurrent sessions from 9:50 a.m. till 10:40 a.m. The doors will open to the breakout rooms at exactly 9:48 a.m.
Al, we have a lot of notes in the chat saying it's not visible yet. We have not live yet. So we will be making it live, and it will be at the base of your Zoom screen.
All right, Terence, just opened. We'll see everyone in about 3 minutes. And then Chris or Billy, I will be unsharing my screen. Please share yours for the folks that will be on the main. See y'all there.